The one arm pull up definitely puts you at risk for injury. So, on this episode of One Arm Wednesday, let's talk about ways to prevent that from happening. Let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in. If you do enjoy this video, please make sure to hit that like button and to subscribe to the channel for future content. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about injury prevention because, as much as we would like to talk about, well, how many reps of this progression should I be doing and what is the technique I need to do, being able to be healthy enough to do both of those is important. The one arm pull up definitely puts a lot of stress on your joints, ligaments, and muscles. So, being able to be healthy and proceeding in a smart fashion is going to be important. We want to make sure that your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists are strong and in good shape so that way you can keep progressing and going forward. So, when we talk about injury prevention, we have two different stages. We have the I'm completely healthy right now and I'm progressing forward. And then the times where you're going to have those little niggles, pains, and just like you're not injured, but you're definitely starting to feel a little uncomfortable in certain areas and you're a bit on edge. The first thing to note, and probably the most important, is not to progress too quickly. The one arm pull up is one of those where you might have the muscle strength to be able to do the movement, but your joints, tendons, and ligaments definitely need time to adapt to this new demand. The one arm pull up puts all of that stress onto that shoulder, elbow, and wrist, and you don't have the support of the other arm, which means that is a lot of weight that you need to be able to pull. So making sure that when you are working on a progression to be okay doing that for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, just to be able to get to that level that you want to be at and kind of stay there and build up that level of confidence there before you start to progress. It's not going to be like when you're first learning pull ups where you did maybe 3 pull ups the first day. And then the second session, you went to 5 and then 7 and just kind of exponentially got better. You want to think of this at the top of a curve where the gains are going to be very slow. If you go and try to shoot yourself out the gap, you are going to be in for a rude awakening. And it's better to have that slow progress forward than to go too quickly, have an injury setback, and then have to start all over again. So, the next thing I want to focus on is controlling your reps. Gravity sucks, especially in the one arm pull up. And when you are coming down, that is a lot of effort and strain that is going to be on your joints if you let gravity take control of the movement. So, whether you're doing a one arm pull up, an assisted version, or even regular pull ups, you want to make sure you are doing your best to fight against gravity as you are lowering yourself down to allow your joints the ability to not have gravity come crashing down once you are hitting that bottom portion of the movement. Another aspect we need to think about is taking care of our body. The one arm pull up will put a lot of stress onto our joints, so making sure we are listening to it and making the best choices for it is important. This includes getting enough sleep, eating enough food, and eating good quality food, and then additional things such as massage guns or getting an actual massage or anything just to make sure that your body is in a good enough state so that way when you go into the next workout, you're not carrying forward any other stress from the previous one. I think recovery is one of the most important and underrated aspects when it comes to fitness. So making sure that this is on top of mind, especially if you're kind of transitioning from being completely healthy into having some of those aches and pains in your body, that you are being set up for success going forward and you're not going too hard and putting yourself in that danger zone every single time you go up and try a rep. So now if we go back to kind of that initial thought I had on the two different stages, if you're completely healthy, if you take those three factors into mind, the main thing to think about is knowing that it is going to get tough and there are going to be some aches and pains. So doing everything you can now to kind of prevent any of that from happening or slowly kind of putting that stress in is important. Usually when you're healthy or first kind of starting off in the one arm pull up journey, you're going to feel like you can do anything. And then you go up there and you might get humbled a little bit and start to feel things that maybe you've never felt before. So just be in the right frame of mind, take it slow, and make sure that you are doing your early recovery work so that way you can kind of prevent those aches and pains from settling in is really important. And if you are one of those people that have some aches and pains settling in, well, if you're working on one arm pull ups, I'm assuming that's most of you, making sure that we're doing our best to take care of all of those steps is important. You may need to step back from your progressions a little bit. Maybe you're doing a bit too much and you need to take a little bit of the volume away so that way you can have stronger and better quality workouts. Or maybe you need to consider adding in a compression sleeve to your arm to add a little bit of support if your elbow is giving you a little bit of a flare up. Thinking about different ways that you can kind of set yourself up for success and going through the movement where you're still getting progress, but not overdoing it is important. Ultimately, we need to make sure that the effort we're putting in our workout is equally balanced with the amount of recovery that we're doing. We want to do not too much, but not too little, so that way we're able to progress and go forward. But we also want to make sure that we're getting enough recovery to balance out all that effort for the next workout that we're doing. This way, we kind of maximize our gains and reduce the amount of chance of injuries going forward. So those are my thoughts on preventing injuries when it comes to the one arm pull up. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this content, please make sure to hit that like button and to subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, everyone. Let's go get that one arm pull up.